Everything in this game has a formula, a method needed to crack the code that is known as apocalypse difficulty. At first, playing on this seemed impossible, but when looking at the gameplay, you can see how formidable this actually is, how much I'm actually able to withstand even with being attacked from all angles. And this is not an AFK build where you need no guns and sit back while just tanking damage. Well, you can if you like, but that's just boring to me. Plus, shooting the enemy promotes even more health regen because I'm using siphoning as one of my traits. And plus, I've always wanted to feel powerful while playing on Apocalypse, the same way it is when I'm playing survival. And this build literally makes me feel that way. This build doesn't require you to have every item in the game to make either. In fact, it's pretty simple to put together. The formula is within Medic's prime perk. It's called Regenerator, and it's automatically unlocked. After restoring 350 total health to allies, regain a spent relic charge. Now this goes down to 250 at level 10 for the health requirement needed to fulfill in order for you to get a heart refunded after use. So you have infinite hearts essentially, which means it doesn't even matter if you have 5 hearts like me or 10. If you play this right, it doesn't matter. This also speaks to how insanely powerful this is because I don't even have mythic relic fragments. This build isn't even min-maxed. And the relics I have are healing effectiveness, health, and armor effectiveness. In combination with the Ladle Mark II armor's innate damage reduction, this build gives you the survivability you need to play this comfortably in Apocalypse. So you'll need the Ring of Omens, along with the low yield recovery ring, then the dense silicon ring, the Ring of the Forest, and finally, the amulet I'm using is the Ankh of Power. The archetype combo is Medic Summoner. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the formula. Now let me explain how it all works so you can understand very easily. You see this green meter? This is available only when the medic is being used as your primary archetype. It means that once this meter gets full or close to it is when you should use your relic in order to activate all of the bonuses and get the ball rolling. And the more healing effectiveness you have on your build will make this meter fill even faster. And since I'm using Summoner, I'm healing them as well. That's the 250 healing that the Medic's Prime perk is referring to. And if the minions you're using, if their health is very low, and once you heal them with your relic, that meter will fill instantaneously, because that falls into the realm of healing effectiveness. And using the Crystal Heart is just what you need to pull this off. On use, it regenerates 100%, which increases based on your level, of max health over 10 seconds. Movement speed is reduced by 50%, and incoming damage is reduced by 25%. That's very important. This lasts for 10 seconds. If you use this heart, once that green meter is halfway, you will instantly get your heart refunded. So using the Ring of the Spirit Forest, which increases relic healing effectiveness by 15%, gives you a really nice boost. Now I know there's an amulet called Nimwe's Ribbon, which gives you 50% healing effectiveness and haste, but I don't have that. And honestly, it's a pain to get, so the Ring of the Forest Spirit is just fine for me. Plus, I think the Ankh of Power amulet is better if you want to deal tons of damage with your weapon and summons. You'll consistently be using a relic every 10 seconds, which means that you'll have a 30% extra damage increase every time. And if you're worried about the 50% speed reduction when using the Crystal Heart, then don't. Because this actually forces you to utilize the Ring of Omens, which normally would work against you. But not here, fam. The Ring of Omens uses health when you perform an evade roll instead of stamina, and without it, you first of all wouldn't even have an evade roll because you'll just fall flat on your stomach. Furthermore, when you lose that health, this promotes the medic's green bar to fill right back up again, because when using the relic, your health regen is insanely fast. So any damage that you receive, even if self-inflicted, works to your benefit. And every evade roll that you do will help to compensate for that slow movement speed you suffer from while the Crystal Heart is in effect. Now we know there'll always be adds during boss fights, right? So the low yield recovery ring gives you passive healing that stacks depending on how many adds you kill. This can last up to 30 seconds or for however long you're killing the adds. This also promotes that medic green bar to autonomously fill. And finally, the dense silicon ring. You gain 200% of health regenerated as mod power. That will make whatever mod you're using insanely powerful. How can you not use this ring? I mean, health regen is all this build is about, and I haven't even calculated how much I have, but 200% of health regenerated as mod power, that's crazy. I love using this with the Nebula. It has a mod on it called Nano Swarm. Unleash a swarm of nano machines that seek after enemies within 20 meters and repeatedly attack, dealing 6 acid damage per hit. This lasts for 15 seconds. This way, I can deal damage passively while trying to focus on keeping my heals up. Plus, corrosive damage weakens the enemy and allows for more damage to be dealt from your weapon or whatever else. So it's the perfect method to use before any big fight. And with this build, you're not always trying to worry about your heals and jumping around and just trying to dodge the enemy. You still have time to DPS with your weapon. You just have to pay very much attention to the formula. And once you get used to it, it'll become like muscle memory, you know? Keep an eye out for your summon's health. Keep an eye out for your health as well. When they're both at a low point is when you use the relic. Then you have 10 seconds to wreak havoc on anything in sight. Then repeat the process over and over. Oh, and make sure to use the second medic skill that gives you the shield. This will protect you and your summons, while it also heals you and once again fills that medic green bar. Everything that you do in this build ensures that you'll be protected in any situation. The summons to use are your choice. Honestly, they're all strong and deal tons of damage. So just use whatever summon is best for whatever fight you're doing. The weapon is entirely your choice to use, but I use the Merciless. It's just great overall for passive damage with the bleed, and it's a powerful weapon in general. For this build, you don't have to have a lot of knowledge to play it. It's versatile enough to utilize different rings or an amulet in order to get the results similar to it. Plus, it makes you feel like a beast in Apocalypse. Who wouldn't want that, huh? Here are the rest of the traits I'm using, but other than that, I think I covered it all. This build I will be using to get a lot done in Apocalypse, and I'm so happy. I hope it helped you, and if it did, then drop a like and subscribe to my channel if you're new. Also, tell me how you'd run this, or anything else you'd like to add in the comment section. I'll see you in my next video. Be right out.